Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we really dig into the details and give you those key insights you need.
That's right, cutting through the noise.
Exactly. So today we're setting our sights on hunting leases. Now, I think for a lot of folks, when you hear hunting lease, you probably picture something pretty modern.
Yeah, maybe just, landowners trying to make an extra buck.
Yeah.
A bit of a money grab, perhaps.
Right, that's often the perception. But what if I told you there's this really rich, kind of surprising history behind it, and the impact goes way beyond just, paying for access?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today, really, is to trace the journey of these leases, from origins almost a century ago, believe it or not, to their absolutely vital role today, for hunting, for conservation, the whole picture.
It's pretty compelling, actually, how something that feels so current has roots stretching back nearly 100 years. And like you said, those roots, they've grown into something much more complex than just a simple transaction. So over this deep dive, you'll see how economic necessity really forged this practice and how it now offers, real benefits for hunters and landowners. It's become, indispensable, really.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Let's rewind. Think early 1930s. America.
Great Depression era, tough times.
Exactly. And you've got these huge ranches, especially down in Texas, landowners facing just immense financial pressure. Costs are up, prices are down.
Right.
It was right there in that tough environment that the first recorded hunting lease we know about popped up.
Wow, 1930s Texas.
Yeah. Picture it, a rancher struggling maybe with cattle prices, taxes piling up. He looks at all this land.
Thousands of acres.
Right. It's vital for his livestock, sure, but is not bringing in extra cash. And then this idea hits.
Yeah.
What if hunters pay a fee? There are plenty of hunters looking for good spots.
Leverage an existing asset.
Exactly. It wasn't even about the landowner hunting themselves necessarily. It was pure economics, creating a new revenue stream just to offset those crippling costs. It was basically a lifeline.
Makes sense.
And once that idea took hold, our sources say it just spread like wildfire all over the South, the Southeast, pretty quickly.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it wasn't happening in a vacuum, right?
No, absolutely not.
Hunting itself, sort of as we know it now, is really taking off, becoming more popular. But, and this is key, public hunting land. It just wasn't as plentiful or, frankly, as well managed back then as it is today.
Good point. Less access.
Yeah. So you had this growing demand from hunters and these huge private lands that suddenly had this new economic potential. And it wasn't only ranchers.
Ah, okay.
Big outfits like
Yep.
mining and timber companies. They had vast tracts of land, often pretty remote. They saw what the farmers and ranchers were doing and kind of jumped into the game, too.
Right, same logic. They've got the land, might as well make it work harder for them.
Precisely. Another way to get value from their holdings.
So, okay, flip side. What about the hunters back then? What was the appeal for them?
Oh, huge appeal. I mean, finding good, reliable hunting ground could be a real challenge. So the idea of having exclusive rights, that was massive.
Exclusive, yeah, that's the word.
Being able to hunt a specific property, maybe all season long. Not just you, but maybe you bring friends, family, a private group.
Compared to potentially crowded public spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
It was just a totally different experience, more control, more personal, getting to really know the land, the animals.
That makes a lot of sense. A big draw.
Absolutely. And this whole practice, born out of need, adopted for mutual benefit,
Yeah.
it just kept spreading.
Beyond the South.
Yeah, moved beyond those initial areas, eventually made its way up into the more crop-rich Midwest.
Ah, the farmland.
Right. And farmers there,
Yeah.
the story, they found it was a great option to offset operating costs. And crucially, it didn't make their jobs any harder. That's a win-win, right?
Yeah. Hard to argue with that. Easy money, relatively speaking.
Pretty much. And what's really noticeable is just how much it's taken off recently. Like the last 20 years or so, hunting leases in the Midwest have just exploded.
Really?
Right.
That recent of a boom?
Yeah, relatively speaking, it's gone from maybe being a bit unusual to being, a staple, a core part of the hunting industry there now. Shows how well it works.
Okay, so it clearly started as this, pragmatic way for landowners to make some money, turn land into income.
Right, the initial driver.
But what's really fascinating, as you hinted, is how it grew beyond that. The benefits just sort of multiplied, didn't they, for both sides?
They really did.
Yeah.
Which, brings up the question, What are those benefits today for landowners beyond just the cash?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one source puts it nicely. A lease isn't going to make the landowner rich anytime soon, probably not, but it absolutely offsets costs.
Which can be huge.
Oh, yeah. Think property taxes, which keep going up.
Mm.
Maintaining fences, roads on a big property, even things like fighting invasive plants. That lease income, it provides real, tangible relief, makes keeping the land viable.
That's a crucial point. It helps them hold on to the land itself.
Exactly. And then there's the whole wildlife management piece.
Yeah.
And crop protection.
Ah, right. For farmers especially.
Yeah, think about it. If you're growing cash crops and your farm isn't hunted, it can basically become a safe zone, a haven for huge numbers of deer, other animals.
Who then eat your profits.
Pretty much. They munch away on those cash crops,
Yeah.
causing significant losses.
Eh.
So allowing controlled hunting, it helps keep the wildlife populations in check.
Makes sense.
And it keeps that crop damage, property damage generally, down to a manageable amount. It's not just about saving money either. It's about ecological balance.
Preventing overpopulation, disease.
It integrates wildlife management right into how the farm operates. It's proactive, good for the ecosystem, good for the farmer's wallet.
Okay, so that's the landowner side. Now, let's talk hunters. What's really in it for them? Our sources say, for diehard hunters, leases are basically a way of life now.
For many they are, especially in places like, well, back to Texas, where there just is not an abundance of public land available for hunting.
Right, if you don't own land yourself.
Leases become that vital path, a way to get consistent, quality hunting on private ground. And a big part of that quality is lower pressure, right? Compared to public spots that might be packed.
Definitely less competition. But it's more than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Leased land often gives hunters the chance for much more hands-on management of the habitat, the game itself.
Like what? Planting food plots?
Exactly. Planting food plots, maybe doing some selective harvesting to, improve the deer herd's age structure or buck-to-do ratio, things like that.
Do they become stewards of that land, in a way?
That's a great way to put it. It's active stewardship. It makes the hunting better, promotes healthier wildlife, and it builds that sense of connection, that exclusivity we talked about earlier.
Yeah, cultivating your own spot year after year.
Precisely. It's about creating a premier experience.
Okay, this is where it gets even broader, right? How do these individual deals, landowner and hunter, actually add up to something bigger?
Yeah, this is the really fascinating ecosystem-level impact. Hunting leases have significantly benefited conservation efforts and herd management for larger game animals like deer. That's a major takeaway.
Especially in places like the Midwest.
Particularly there, yeah, where, managing deer herds is often a really big concern. You've got all that agriculture, lots of food, populations can explode.
Leading to problems.
Big problems. Disease spread within the herd, crop damage we mentioned, car accidents, property destruction, even in suburban areas sometimes. Leases, by allowing managed hunting, help curtail those negative effects.
So it's a management tool on a landscape scale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this creates what one source calls a giant positive loop. Think about it.
Okay.
Leases open up new hunting areas, lands that were previously closed off, right? That means the hunting industry can grow. More people can participate without just piling more pressure onto the most popular public spots. It spreads things out.
Diversification of pressure. Got it.
And the more opportunities there are, the more hunters are involved, often through these structured managed leases as well. The more resources become available for the conservation and preservation of public lands.
How so? Through license fees.
Primarily, yeah. Money from hunting licenses, tags, excise taxes on gear. That revenue, often boosted because more people can hunt thanks to leases, directly funds state wildlife agencies, their conservation work, habitat improvement, research.
Ah, I see. So leases enable more participation, which generates more conservation funding.
You got it. It's this symbiotic relationship. It really benefits the whole hunting community and the environment itself.
Wow. Okay. So bringing it to today, what does this all mean for, someone listening right now? They might still be thinking, paying to hunt feels a bit weird.
Yeah, that initial reaction is understandable.
But the sources, they're pretty clear. Well, yeah, those who are not already familiar with hunting leases might balk at the idea. The reality is this has been, and it's going to continue to be, a very popular practice.
No doubt about it.
The Midwest may be a bit newer to it, like we said, but even there, it's now becoming a very common option that shouldn't be thought badly of.
Right. It's just part of the landscape now.
And honestly, with more pressure on land and online platforms making it easier to find leases, the opportunities they offer, they really could be a game changer for some landowners and hunters alike.
And the types of leases are evolving too, seasonal, annual, per animal, long-term deals. Lots of options depending on what people need.
So how do we get past that maybe initial skepticism? How do we really appreciate the value
I
here?
think the key message from the sources is really just to stay open-minded. Recognize this isn't some new fad.
Right, almost 100 years.
Exactly. It's been around almost 100 years already, constantly evolving into these working relationships where both sides mutually benefit. It's so much more than just a money grab.
It's a system.
It really is. A system that balances things like landowner liability, hunter responsibility, access, conservation.
Hmm.
It provides that needed access while supporting landowners and wildlife. It's pretty sophisticated when you look closely.
And the sources even suggest, if you're curious, go take a look. Check out hunting leases that are available in your area.
You might be surprised what's out there.
Yeah, the options, the quality
Yeah.
could be really eye-opening.
So yeah, if we tie all these threads together, leases have just proven themselves, haven't they? Resilient, adaptive, really integral now.
For everyone involved.
Vital access for hunters, crucial income and management tools for landowners, and yeah, big contributions to conservation and herd management across the board.
It's quite a journey from those, Depression-era Texas ranches just trying to survive
Mm.
to the modern Midwest, where it's all facilitated by apps and websites. Hunting leases have come such a long way.
They really have.
And this whole deep dive, I think, it really challenges us.
Yeah.
Look past the surface assumption, see how this practical economic solution actually created that giant positive loop we talked about, balancing business and conservation.
A powerful combination.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Considering this long history, these complex benefits, how might these principles we've seen in hunting leases, shared access, mutual benefit, adaptive stewardship, how might they apply elsewhere? In other areas where we have finite resources and we're trying to balance private interests with the public good.
Interesting question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the surprising history and the modern reality of hunting leases.
Hope you found it insightful.
We certainly hope you walk away with a fresh perspective today.